All right. Well, we play half brothers. I'm the bastard son.
We could try and do the whole interview where we talk in unison.
We are playing brothers who have the same father, but different mothers.
There you go. There's one on the slide.
Yeah. Wow. So. This is going so well.
I play Francis II, who is in line to the French throne. My father is the king and my mother is the queen, and Torrance plays Bash, who's
I'm the oldest son and perhaps the favorite son, but I'm not in line for the throne due to the fact that my mother is my father's mistress. So we have a bit of a functional, dysfunctional family unit going on in the castle.
I mean, it's pretty dysfunctional as things go. People are trying to kill each other and that sort of thing.
But startlingly functional, all things considered.
Yeah, on the day-to-day, we sort of get on. And at the beginning, what's hinted at in the pilot is that we are essentially brothers, and we obviously care for each other a great deal. But there is a sort of hint at I'm one day going to rule and he isn't. But at the same time, he gets to have a relationship with our father that I don't, because he's training me to sort of one day be the king, and so he can't have the sort of jovial relationship that he does with Bash, which so at the beginning of the show it's like, oh yeah, isn't it funny, but it will probably end up in fisticuffs at some point in the show.
Yeah.
Is Bash short for something else? Or
Sebastian is his full name.
Yeah.
Sebastian, yes, because there's nobody called Bash. We're having
yes,
well,
I've been Googling that. I've been Googling as hard as I can every historical text there is to be able to find a Bash, and I haven't been
there, I guess, no, that's the fictional element right there.
Well, I have a question. I saw the pilot, and I feel like both of your characters, at one point or another, I'm like, oh my god, he's going to be a bad guy. Oh my god, I don't like him. But you guys kind of switch off constantly back and forth throughout it. And I want to know, I guess, how that's going to play out for the season, and then also your relationship with Mary, because I know it's kind of up and down, and how that's going to work out.
Yeah, my relationship with Mary sort of turns on a dime a lot, because Francis is, at the beginning of the show, duty-bound and feels a responsibility to, because he knows that one day he's going to rule, so he has a responsibility to his people, and he knows that these marriages could be called off at any moment if alliances were to shift, and so he's trying to keep Mary at arm's length, because if he was to get emotionally involved and then suddenly they were to split, it would cloud his judgment. But I think it is a natural friendship between you and Mary more, where I have sort of trouble. I realise that I'm sort of actually attracted to her, and I would love to actually just have a normal relationship with her, and I don't know quite how to express it at the beginning of the show, which is sort of like when you're young and you go, "Girls smell," but what you really mean is, "I love girls," but you just don't know how to say it yet. Yeah, so that's where Francis is.
So do you think he's going to be trying to go after her a little more? Because, like you said in the first episode, he kind of is against it, and towards the end, you're like, oh, he likes her.
It's like a will, we won't, we will, we won't, we will. But will we really? Yes. But will we? Yes, we will. But will we? Yes.
And then like the same thing for your character. At first I was like, oh my god, he's going to be this awful, like he's trying to mix up things. But then you're really not. You care about her, and you're,
There are shades of gray,
Yeah.
Good people do bad things when put in difficult circumstances.
Right.
And that certainly plays out as things go forward. But meanwhile, he's kind of wishy-washy, so I see a possible opening. But I'm kind of also trying. I'm like, I shouldn't do that, so I'm trying to restrain myself. But it's not always easy.
So is that going to be an issue between you two?
Yes. Yeah. It probably will.
We could say that's a spoiler, but I don't think it really is.
No, I mean, it would be. That's definitely where it's going. There's going to be some. Things are heating up, as we keep saying.
Things are heating up.
Things are heating up.
The pilot walks a really interesting line between being modern and also period in some music choices, especially. How does that on set? How do they direct you to be period, or do you let things slip through? So you're not
that's what I brought that up when we first did the pilot. Brad Silberling, who directed our pilot, who's now one of our producers, when I asked him basically, do you want there to be a sort of element in terms of performance, whether you want, because I mean in every other aspect there's, from the costume to the music and all these different things, there's a youthful and modern feel, and he said no, don't play it in any way like it's anything other than that time.
but also, like, speaking personally, I don't go out of my way to act in a historical or period fashion. Like, there's something a little bit like that. Yeah, it's kind of contemporary in the dialogue. Like, I'm not making contemporary gestures with my hands particularly, but I'm not going out of my way to like be period or anything. It's just kind of in a middle ground between it.
Right.
Yeah. Laurie's keen on it not becoming too much about. So like bowing is that when we got this massive lesson on bowing when we first started the show about who would bow and when would bow. Everyone walk out the room until you just have to we scrapped that as the first opportunity when it's just going to get in the way. So there are these certain dynamics that back then, like, no one can ever have their back to the king, which from a perspective when you're trying to shoot a scene is actually just like, well, what's the point of this? It's not going to add anything to it. Let's just scrap it.
I'm going to pull them and bring them over to the next table.
Thank you.
Thank you so